Drivers, start your engines!
It's MRN Motorsports Monday, the place for the latest news and loudest opinions, direct from the guys at the track. Presented by Outback Steakhouse. This program is rated VNGSN and may contain scenes of verbal nonsense and graphic shenanigans. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oscar, my baloney has a first name.
Today's episode is brought to you by Hercules Tires.
Pace car is a...
Here's Woody Cain.
Everyone knows your name, Woody.
And Buddy Long.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of MRN Motorsports Monday. I'm Woody Cain, but he is not Joey Meyer. He is Buddy Long joining us. You may recognize him from Coast to Coast right here at MRN.com, the Motor Racing Network. And, well, nothing really happened this weekend. We don't have a lot to talk about, so I guess we should say see you next week.
No,
right?
dull. Xfinity Cup. Let's just talk about Phoenix. There's nothing happened in Vegas this past weekend at all.
Fantastic. We had a great finish where Martin Truex Jr. was dominant. Then here comes Brad Keselowski looking like he's going to take the show. Then he has a problem and Truex is back in front, and it's all getting overshadowed by a fight on pit road.
It had a little bit of everything in it, and I guess my biggest question sitting on the couch watching the race on Sunday was the what-if scenario. Had there not been that last caution, would Brad Keselowski had he been able to do what he did? Would he have been able to win the race, or would it have just been Martin Truex just walking away? But that caution kind of changed everything in quite a few ways when Danica Patrick exploded on the front straightaway.
It really did. We'll hear from Martin Truex Jr. in our next segment, talk to him in Victory Lane, where he describes what happened and what was going on in his mind at that point. But he said, interestingly enough, that Brad was actually better than him a little bit on the longer run. On the short run, intermediate run, he was dominating, as you saw, by how many laps he led. But a longer run played into the two cars' hands. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to pay it off. Should say, by the way, that Joey Meyer, two-spotter, is on special assignment. He's staying out as NASCAR goes west. That's a hashtag reference right there. And don't forget our sponsor, Outback Steakhouse. Head on over there for lunch. Got great lunch specials. You can even check out the Joey menu, which two-spotter thinks is all about him, but really it's the kids menu. Lots of good stuff on there as well. No Bloomin' Monday since Kevin Harvick didn't get a top 10 finish, and that's another whole situation to talk about with the hot start they had. And a little bit later on, we're going to talk with Keith Rodden. He's Kasey Kahne's crew chief about the way the season has started, the way things have been going for that 5 team. They have been very consistent to start this season.
Yeah, they were strong early in the event. They qualified 7th in the race. They eventually faded back to the 12th position. And again, it's going to be interesting to get Keith's perspective. A very hot day out there, a very greasy racetrack, and we talked about short runs, long runs. How did their car fare better? Short, long. They ended up 12th, and we'll pick his brain here in a little bit as well.
All right, we'll also hear from Joey Logano after the incident with Kyle Busch. And at the end, we'll look ahead at Phoenix, where the first Dash for Cash race comes up in the Xfinity Series. It's all ahead on Motorsports Monday. Stay right there.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that honey to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So cold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse, blooming great.
Today, Toyota's featured NASCAR fan is Carrie, Queen of Cakes.
So, Carrie, why do they call you Queen of Cakes?
Well, whenever Toyota wins a NASCAR race, I make a life-size Camry cake.
Really?
Yeah, delicious and made in America, just like the dang car. And with all Toyota's wins last year, it was life-size Camry Cake City. Ooh, even lost a kid at one point. Tried to drive one of the cakes. Had to eat his way out of the drivetrain. Bless his heart.
Let's go NASCAR fans.
Toyota, let's go places. To learn more, visit ToyotaRacing.com. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc. Toyota vehicles and components are built using U.S. and globally sourced parts.
Ever wish your kid came with an instruction manual? I'm behavioral therapist James Lehman, and I'll show you how to change your child's behavior now with the Total Transformation, the program that helps stop defiance, backtalking, lying, acting out in school, even problems with ADD and ADHD. There's no screaming, no fighting, no frustration. Your child will listen to you again. I guarantee it.
Change your child's behavior now with the Total Transformation. Call now. 1-800-406-2945. 1-800-406-2945.
Hi, this is Austin Dillon. Now back to MRN Motorsports Monday.
Welcome back to Motorsports Monday. Woody Cain and Buddy Long filling in for two-spotter Joey Meyer, who stayed out as NASCAR goes west. While it's a 3-race swing out there. But Martin Truex Jr. is the winner at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And we were talking a little about stage racing earlier, where guys are getting points at segments during the race. And Martin Truex Jr. is doing a lot of what he did last year, leading a lot of laps. The only difference is now he's getting points for it.
Absolutely. And, they interviewed him at the end, obviously, and they asked him his thoughts on stage racing compared to the way it was. He said it's just as hard now as it was then. You never would have known it by the piece he had underneath of him yesterday, but we were talking a few moments ago during commercial. Everybody's got their own opinion. 3 races are in the books as far as stage racing is concerned. For me, that was the first race I could sit there as a fan at home and watch.
And actually take it all in.
Yeah, and by virtue of how the cautions played out prior to the stages coming to a conclusion, which was about 7 or 8 laps at the end of each stage, it really had the crew chiefs shaking their head trying to figure out what direction to go. And as we saw in that first stage, Joey Logano elected to stay out. Jamie McMurray came in, only took 2 tires. Kind of paid the price on that restart with just about 4 or 5 laps to go once they went back to green. But it's so cool to watch what a crew chief is going to do. Bring him in, keep him out.
And it's not always uniform. One may do A and other may do B.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, had a chance to chat with Martin Truex Jr. in Victory Lane at Las Vegas after his big win. Here's what he had to say. Martin, you had a dominant car all day, and then it looked like it slipped away. Tell us about those closing laps.
Yeah, I thought we were toast at 5 to go. I was like, oh, man, here we're going to give it away after leading all day. But, just the way the runs played out, that last real long run right before that last caution with 10 to go, it was the longest we had to run on tires all day. And it really felt like the 2 was stronger than us on the really long run all day long. It was always, we'd get out there and get a gap and try to maintain for a while. And then at the end of those runs, he'd start catching us a bit. And, we had to go so long in that last set, he got by us. So, yeah, it was frustrating, but at the same time, all you can do is get in, work on your car, and go out and drive your butt off and do all you can. So, just never gave up. And, he obviously had a bit of an issue, and I can honestly say I've been on the other side of those plenty of times. So, feel a little bad for him, but I'll take this one.
What was the first thing that went through your mind when he started to slow down?
I couldn't believe it. I mean, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know if he had a loose wheel or, his engine was blowing up or what happened, because he slowed down quick. So just really was in disbelief for a lap, and then just try to hold it all together and get back to the checker flag.
For you, it's NASCAR stays west. What do you think about Phoenix?
I look forward to it. It's not been one of our greatest racetracks. We had a strong car there last year, and got wrecked late in the race. But I think we can go there now with some extra momentum, and we got a win, so we feel good about that. And just go there and try to do the best job we can. I mean, that's what we do every single week. I think our short track program was getting better throughout the year last year, so I'm optimistic we can go there and run well.
Did you cheat and listen to that? Because you talked about when the cautions came out. I was trying to surprise you.
Yeah, no, I loved it. That's fortunate. That's not going to always happen that way, as we know, and some people do short pit, but I mean, that was so cool. And I think about, I put myself in Martin's frame of mind, and I listened to the in-car radio as Fox was given. When Keselowski went around and Martin said, I got nothing left. The MO of these Cup teams, Xfinity and truck teams is never give up. But when you see Brad Keselowski blowing by you and walking away, Martin had to think, this is it, second's the best I could do.
Yeah, he's like Scotty on the Enterprise. I've given her all she's got, Captain.
She won't give any more. That was it, and he knew second. I mean, he wasn't giving up, but he pretty much knew he was outclassed, and I'm sure it blew his mind when he saw that 2 slowing down.
Another interesting note, Brad Keselowski, even though he had the trouble, he dropped back and held on to a 5th-place finish and leaves Las Vegas with the point lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Harvick, you talked about his frustrations earlier in the day with the blown tire on the front straightaway. That changed things up quite a bit. It shuffled the points. But Brad kept digging. I mean, we watched him those final couple laps after the issues occurred with the Miller Lite Ford, and he eventually just still limped his way to a 5th-place finish, and that was key.
All right. We got to take a quick time out here on Motorsports Monday. On the other side, Kasey Kahne's crew chief, Keith Rodden, joins us.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice, Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse. about Outback Steakhouse. Blooming great!
Where will you be when NASCAR comes to Chicago's fastest loop? 4 days of racing, tailgating, camping, and music come to Chicagoland Speedway September 14th through the 17th. Tickets for Sunday Chicagoland 400 are available now. Camping spots are available and selling fast. All kids' tickets $25 off adult price and free on certain race days. Get your tickets and campsite now at ChicagolandSpeedway.com. Chicagoland Speedway, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series playoffs start here.
Hi, this is Jimmy Johnson, and you're listening to MRN Motorsports Monday.
Welcome back to Motorsports Monday. Woody Cain, Buddy Long with you, reviewing the race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And we're joined now by one of the crew chiefs who's off to a pretty good start on the season. Keith Rodden is the crew chief for Kasey Kahne's number 5 Liftmaster Farmers Insurance Chevrolet at Hendrick Motorsports. They are 9th in the points right now after another good run. And my gosh, Keith, a dramatic finish yesterday, a wild start to the year, and all the explosion of publicity after the race on pit road. All in all, it's kind of a crazy time and a good time for the attention aspect of it to be in NASCAR, and you guys are making it happen. How have you gotten off to the good start that you guys have had?
Well, I feel like last year we ended the year very strong, and it's one of those things where sometimes when you kind of get in a rut and you can't get out of it, and we were able to. And the last 12 races we were really fast last season, and we just kept working really hard on it over the off season, trying to do what we needed to do to come out strong this year, and that's what we've done. So, yesterday we just missed it a tick, and you'll have that, and had a few things we can work on moving forward for the 2 races at Las Vegas next year. But the first thing we got to do is put that in the rearview mirror and get ready for Phoenix. All in all, we've had a pretty solid start to the season, and it's a good point standing position considering we haven't made any stage points yet. So we got to get that going, and looking forward to it.
And a very warm weekend coming in Phoenix is what we're understanding. Temperatures in the mid-90s, and we're going to talk about that in just a few moments. Stage racing, obviously, Keith, has been one of the biggest topics of conversation the offseason, going into Daytona, through Atlanta, and now in Las Vegas. And we've talked a lot about that and how the stages panned out this past weekend at Vegas. How has stage racing worked for you as a crew chief from your standpoint and the situations that you've been in your first 3 races? How would you grade it?
Well, I mean, I've probably done a bad job, so I think that for the sport it's great, and some people are really taking advantage of it. I think yesterday you saw at the end of the first stage, the one took 2 tires and held on probably for 6th or 7th in that stage, so he netted 3 spots, and that's 3 points, and that's what we're looking at that we need to be able to do. And unfortunately at Daytona we had some trash on the grill. We got in the back of the pack, had to pit and put water in and stuff like that. We were never up there until the very end of the race. Atlanta, we didn't qualify as well as we should have. We never got up there. Worked on my car all day. Had a really fast car, but we never got to show it until the end of the race. And yesterday we just were, just too loose. We just lost the right rear tire too much into the run. So that really hurts you because you can't really short pit, because then you have to run the rest of the segment long, right? And then you can't go long either because you're going to give up too much time. So, we did what we needed to do yesterday. We had the best car on the track at the end of the race, which is something we needed to concentrate on because we need to be able to put these races together and run in the top 5 and the top 10 at the end of the day. And I think Phoenix, we're really going to concentrate on getting that good qualifying effort, starting the race really close, and getting those points throughout the entire event. And I think that's going to help us out a lot.
Chatting with Keith Rodden. He's Kasey Kahne's crew chief on the Liftmaster Farmers Insurance number 5 Chevrolet at Hendrick Motorsports. And Keith, help us understand why we saw so many speeding penalties at Atlanta and then not barely any, if any, at Las Vegas, a track that's kind of notorious for speed traps and guys getting popped.
I don't really know. I don't know. I think, there's a few things. So at Atlanta, we didn't have the closer timing lines, and we did last year we didn't, and we did this the last race. So I think that was new. And another thing is NASCAR allowed all the teams to look at live pit road speeds during practice this weekend, and you saw almost everyone take advantage of that. And sometimes that still leads to speeding penalties because you look and you see that you're going, 2 miles an hour underneath the speed limit. So, well, let's just go 1 under, and then you get popped for speeding in the race. But I think everyone use Atlanta as an example of what not to do. And, it's so hard to give up track position and make it back up. And honestly, that's what happened to us yesterday. But speeding, especially speeding on pit road under green, it just puts you so far behind, and it's really, really hard to get back, especially when the everyone's so close and so fast. So I think that Phoenix is going to be just like last fall. Then we get to California, and we'll have tighter speed lines there. So it'll be interesting to see if some of those penalties pop back up.
We touched on it a few moments ago, the impending temperatures that you're going to be receiving in Phoenix. It was about 80 degrees out there.
Yeah, I'd say close to mid-80s yesterday.
Yeah. You're going to be a little bit, quite a bit warmer this weekend. I think they said by Sunday 95, at least as far as air temperature is concerned. I know Junior had the opportunity to go out there for the Phoenix test for you and the 5 team. How are you prepared for Phoenix? What's it looking like for you guys as far as your preparation is concerned this weekend?
Well, it's looking pretty good. We got to see the cars yesterday after the West Coast races. Teams do different things. Some teams stay after Las Vegas. Some teams stay after Phoenix. We actually came back home last night, so we unload all our stuff from Las Vegas, get it all off the hauler, and another hauler brings our cars and brings the parts and other equipment that we need for Phoenix. Obviously, with Phoenix being kind of a shorter track, there's different brake systems, there's different suspension types that you run and stuff like that. So we're really prepared. We're planning on flying out pretty early Thursday morning to get out to Phoenix and unload the cars and work on them and make sure they're ready to go. Now with the schedules, we're having less and less time in the morning to work on the cars before practice starts. So as the crew chief and the engineers on our team, we have to get all our changes to the mechanics as fast as possible. And really, we need to leave the shop with what we think we want to start with, because there's not a lot of time in the schedule to adjust if we want to run the entire practice. So all the preparation looked really good, and we had a great race out there last time. We were so fast in the long run. And then the during race, it ended up coming up to some short runs at the end. And obviously Alex was in the 88 last time, and he did a fantastic job. He was fast the entire race, and I could go on and on. Jimmy was super fast, and Chase was really fast. And so we have a really good baseline. Dale went there and did the test, and I think he did a pretty good job.
That was his first one back after getting cleared.
Yeah, I didn't study the lap times too hard, because you never know who's giving 100%, who's giving 90%, and all that. It gets really tough. But I was really encouraged by seeing the pace he had. He did a fantastic job, and Greg and all those guys learned a lot and distributed that information amongst all the teams. And, I think that we'll just go there and plan to slip and slide around a little bit. It's going to be nice. I think it's going to be a great race.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun, too.
Awesome place.
Well, Keith, congratulations on the start you guys have had to the season. I know you want some more stage wins. I think everybody is kind of grappling with how important those stage points have become. But we'll look forward to catching up with you out in Phoenix, and hope it's not too boilingly hot for you guys working out there in the middle of that desert.
Yeah, it's hot enough already with all the brake heat and the real tight garage area there and all that stuff. But we're ready for it. We can't wait to get out there.
All right, man. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yep, thank you guys.
There you go. That's Keith Rodden, Kasey Kahne's crew chief on the Liftmaster Chevrolet at Hendrick Motorsports. And they've kind of quietly had a good start to the season. Remember, there was some turmoil last year where they were saying, man, we got to get better, we got to get better. And as he mentioned, the last dozen or so races, they were really quick.
Yeah, and think about it. When you look at his 3 teammates, you're looking at a 7-time champion and Jimmy Johnson coming back. You're looking at Dale Earnhardt Jr. making his comeback into the sport, and obviously all the fanfare surrounding Chase Elliott. I mean, there's 3 right there. He's got some big shoes to catch up to and fill or be a part of, and Kasey's very good. So, hats off to him. Like you said, 12th in the series points right now and going to a track that they do very well at.
You mentioned Chase Elliott, 3rd place finish at Las Vegas, now 3rd in the standings. All right, we're going to talk about the fight. Right after this, we'll hear from Joey Logano.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse, blooming great.
Today Toyota's featured NASCAR fan is Dr. Tom Pierce.
So, Dr. Tom, what's your claim to fame?
Well, due to all of Toyota's NASCAR wins last year, I wrote thousands of doctor's notes for fans for overexcitement hypertension, a condition that requires a day off work to rest.
Sounds like a responsible doctor.
Doctor? I'm not a real doctor, bro. Would a doctor get a guy off work for overexcitement about the new Camry? Because I did.
Let's go NASCAR fans.
Toyota, let's go places. To learn more, visit toyotaracing.com. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
Live sports are the one true reality entertainment, where a single dramatic moment can become timeless. In NASCAR, Motor Racing Network's live broadcasts elevates your senses to the sights, sounds, and struggles taking place on the racetrack.
Keselowski to the bottom of the racetrack. He tries to slide up. Newman is there. Sideways is Keselowski.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
Hey, this is Joey Logano, and you're listening to MRN Motorsports Monday.
Joey Logano, the subject of some controversy after the race. He and Kyle Busch get together as Brad Keselowski is fading back. Joey Logano and Kyle Busch are trying to get to the finish and get the best one they can. Next thing you know, they're tangled up. Kyle Busch is spinning, and then here we go on pit road afterward.
I'm used to seeing the mosh pit in the NHRA with Doug Coletta's team when they win a run down the track. I wasn't used to seeing that mosh pit. And we saw some social media video where you were right there.
I had no idea Kyle Busch was right behind me.
That's awesome.
I was walking down there looking to see who I was going to get. I was there to get news audio, and I had to wait till live TV and live radio got done with their business. So I'm trying to find out who's not with anybody. And I see Kyle go like that and head over toward Joey, and I looked, and like everybody else, I went.
Now, nobody knows that Woody was saying, get him, Kyle, get him, Kyle, get him, Kyle.
I did not say any such thing, and starts throwing punches. Here we go. There's a big scrum afterwards. Officials are in there. Team guys are in there. And here's what Joey Logano had to say about it all afterwards.
Getting underneath Brad there, and at that point I was just kind of trying to get through the corner. I was sideways all the way through and got into him. Nothing intentional, just I guess I understand his frustration. He crashed, but
Joey Logano now and,
same thing could have happened in the three, what he did to me. Well, you can see him coming. He's wearing the same color suit as me. No, I don't run from conflict. I mean, you got to talk about it, but he wasn't in the talking mood. He was in the fighting mood, I guess. So, I don't know. I mean, typically you can handle this stuff like men and talk about it and not have to fight, but whatever. We crashed. He came down on the entry on me to get underneath Brad and sent me for a heck of a ride on the entry, and I was still trying to gather the thing up, and then just never got it. I was still chasing it up the racetrack, and this just happens. I was just trying to run my line into the corner, and I got hit in the right front before I even got into the corner by the 18, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's always surprising, you know. Like I said, I've never had an issue with Kyle. Kyle and I have always raced really well together, never had an issue, but I guess that's over, I guess.
Wow.
I guess that's over.
And you know, when you go back, I can understand Kyle's frustration as far as the whole day was concerned, because you alluded to pit road speeding penalties. He was one of the few drivers that got caught speeding on pit road. He did have a well-timed pass on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to get himself back as the driver that would get the free pass.
Stenhouse, by the way, who wound up later with his axle shaft hanging out as he's going around the track.
Just seconds before Derek Cope spun. So Kyle, I mean, timed it perfectly, got around Ricky, worked his way back to get on the lead lap, did so much to work that car back up into a finishing position. It was a little questionable as far as the move down the back straightaway. He was behind Brad, shot to the inside. Joey was right there, little contact.
And
Joey
Brad, keep in mind, is drifting back because of whatever the issue was that he had, which we still don't know what it was.
Well, I mean, they were going for broke. I mean, Joey stuck it in there down in turn 3 and 4, got a little loose, and as a result, made contact with Kyle Busch, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Well, we've seen a precedent, particularly in the chase a couple of years ago with guys throwing punches, and you see some of the aftermath there. There were not suspensions. However, I wonder if somebody on one of the crews might get a suspension or a fine or what have you.
Yeah, because on television, all you saw was basically the mosh pit. You could even see Kyle Busch.
Jeff Gluck had better footage than Fox did, right? I mean,
actually,
it
probably
went boom
did
on social media.
But I was thinking something was going to happen because after I saw what happened on the racetrack, and Kyle, we watched him get out of his car, but then they went to other interviews or other segments of the finale of the race. You were just waiting to see whether that was going to happen, and lo and behold, just a few moments later, there's the pit of people on pit road with Kyle at the bottom of all the Joey Logano crew members, and it was on.
It was like a bottom of the pile in an NFL game. You don't know what's going on at the bottom of the
Where's that
pile,
ball?
but you want no part of it for sure. Now, Mitch Covington is the chief marketing guy at Monster Energy. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, they built their name on harnessing this passion and inspiring fans. I talked with him back in Vegas at Champions Week, and listen closely to what he says. That might make you wonder whether or not this is exactly what they want.
We not only will support it, we almost demand it. We want to be authentic in all the sports we're in. Authentic's a big word in our vocabulary. We want to see the emotion. My kids race, and there's not a bigger high than winning or a bigger low when you don't. That's what draws people to sport. So, yeah, we want to see the real thing.
We want to see the real thing, he says. Well, brother, you got it.
Well, you got Monster Energy car in victory lane at Daytona. Kevin Harvick looked like he had it locked up at Atlanta. Things changed for him where Brad Keselowski got the win. And then what a great finish. I mean, between not only Martin and Brad, but obviously Joey and Kyle. I think NASCAR's got everything they're looking for. All the ingredients are right there in that one bucket.
Another thing that we mentioned, Kyle Larson finished second, Chase Elliott third, Joey Logano fourth, and fifth was Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski, the point leader by 1 over Kyle Larson, by 3 over Chase Elliott, by 5 over Truex. All jumbled up as we expect early in the season as we head to Phoenix, but here we come.
Yeah, and to call to Kyle Larson, he was a very strong car all day long. He eventually started to make his way back up towards the front. Just didn't have the finish he wanted. He has not gotten that victory yet. It's coming. Could come this weekend at Phoenix, and was the driver that, as you mentioned earlier before we went on the air, second in the Xfinity race, second in the Cup race on Sunday. He's very strong right now.
Speaking of that Xfinity race, there was a good one on Saturday at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Some might argue because there were a lot of Cup guys up front, but the highest finishing Xfinity regular was friend of the show, Justin Allgaier, who kind of righted the ship after a couple of rough starts, and I had a chance to chat with him after that race. How gratifying is it after the bad luck start to the season to get that taste out of your mouth and show what this team can do?
We've talked about it ever since Homestead last year. We knew we had the team capable of doing what we needed to do, but unfortunately with the first 2 races we just haven't been able to show it. We've not made it past, really lap 25, lap 30 and not had something go wrong. So to come out of here with a solid day, knowing that we had speed in our brand fresh agriculture Chevy all day, that's a big shot in the arm for these next few races.
And speaking of that, now you get to go try to get some more Dash for Cash money next week, huh?
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to win one last year at Indianapolis, and we had a really good go at it last summer, and so I'm really looking forward to next week at Phoenix. It's gonna be fun for the Xfinity Dash for Cash Series races.
Phoenix, the new addition to the Dash for Cash program this year, and it comes right up next week.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, in that Dash for Cash, instead of having the heat races, the stages will determine the victors in all these categories.
They'll serve as de facto heats.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And Justin Allgaier is going to be one to watch out for. And again, watching that, I didn't get to catch the entire Xfinity Series race, but I do know that with the multitude of cautions that came out late in the event, a lot of people were saying, boy, that's not going to bode well for the people in front of Justin Allgaier. Very strong car, good finish, still down in the points a little bit, but plenty of time to rebound for that junior motorsports team.
And a nice run for Bubba Wallace, too, who does it and then has to get 3 bottles of IV after the race because he was sick coming in. Don't forget, Motor Racing Network will have that Xfinity Series race, Dash for Cash. It's the DC Solar 200 from Phoenix. That starts at 3:30 Eastern Time on Saturday. Now, Tuesday, if you're watching this on a Monday, don't forget NASCAR Live. Mike Bagley is your host. We have an interview with William Byron on that one as well, and still putting together a guest list there. Then on Sunday, the big dance at Phoenix Raceway, all the changes they've got coming there. We've got that coming your way. The Camping World 500 starts at 2:30 Eastern Time on Sunday afternoon. What do you think? More mayhem?
It's an awesome track. I can't wait. I just can't wait. I'm going to be glued to the couch on Sunday for sure.
And you're talking temperatures in the mid-90s. Wow. I can't wait until we get there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here in place of Joey. We'll see you next week.
MRN Motorsports Monday is presented by Outback Steakhouse. Tune in every Monday for another exciting episode right here on MRN.com. Brought to you by Hercules Tires. MRN Motorsports Monday is also available on demand in MRN.com's Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, and in iTunes or the Google Play Store. MRN Motorsports Monday is a production of the Motor Racing Network.